हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Nanut Pranam Niti Mataji.
How is your health, Prabhuji? Feeling better?
Oh, I am fine. I was fine. I had
Oh,
other commitments.
oh. I was worried
Hare
about
Krishna
I was
Prabhuji.
starting for your health, Prabhuji, actually.
No, I was fine. Only thing was I had other commitments and I
Oh,
was very busy there.
oh, we missed you.
Thank you, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna Mataji, Nanut
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
प्रभु जी
Krishna
प्रणाम
Nanut
प्रभु
Pranam.
जी.
Hare Krishna everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances and Nanut Pranam, all of you devotees. Thank you very much for attending the early morning short Bhagavatam class, which has been organized by ISKCON Kulai Mangaluru Temple. And you all are invited by His Grace Sri Ramani Sadas Prabhuji. We'll
हरे
begin with the
कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
prayers. Hare Krishna Usha Mataji. We begin with our prayers. Prayers are important, and I would suggest you also continue praying with me, so that we can understand what Lord wants us to understand and can put everything into practice to achieve the Naistiki Bhakti. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nime Saraswate Deve Gaurava
प्रचारिणे
Pashatadeshatarine
निर्वेशने
Tanya Manovistam Sapidamena Bhutale Swam Rupa
कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadam Shri Guru Vaishnavacha Shri Rupam Sagraja
तं सह रघुनाथान्वितं तं सज
Sadvaitam Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagar Lalita Shri Vishakharvitascha He Krishna Karuna Siddho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्लीज फॉलो मी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ
Om
नमो
Namo
भगवते
Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय.
Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो
Om Namo
भगवते
Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय.
Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वाय
ॐ
Om
नमो
Namo
भगवते
Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय.
Vasudevaya.
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
नारायणं
Narayanam
नमस्कृत्य
Namaskritya
नरं चैव
Naram Chaiva
नरोत्तमम्.
Uttamam.
सरस्वती ततो जयमुदीरये
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्.
पूर्णतां स्वकथः कृष्णः पुण्यकीर्तनः
शृण्वतां स्वकथा
Tata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana
पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः.
soyabhadrani vidunoti sata.
हृदन्तस्तु
हृदन्तस्तुर्यभद्राणि
भद्राणि
विधुनोति
विधुनोति सुहृत्सदा
Praishu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya.
नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु
भद्रेषु
नित्यं
नित्यं
भागवतसेवया
भागवतसेवया
Bhakti uttama sloke bhakti bhavati nai.
भगवती
भगवती
उत्तमा
श्लोके
श्लोके
भक्ति
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
Nityam bhagavata sevaya and bhakti bhavati naistiki. Reciting, understanding Srimad Bhagavatam daily leads us definitely to Naistiki Bhakti bestowed by Lord Krishna and removes all inauspicious things from our life. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Describe Duties for Humankind, Chapter 5, verse 29. Those who want to recite the verse can raise their hands. Iti tanapi rajendra praja sarga diyo munihi upetya naradaha praha.
Prabhuji, audio is not coming.
Hare Mataji,
Hare Krishna. No
can you
audio.
hear me?
Now only we hear.
Okay, fine. Did you hear me reciting the verse?
Incomplete it was.
Okay, fine. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Iti tanapi rajendra praja sarga diyo munihi upetya naradaha praha vachaha kutani purvavat. Let us start with Pran Nandini Madhvi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय इति तान् अपि राजेन्द्र प्रजा सर्ग धियो मुनिः उपेत्य नारदः प्राह वाचः कूटानि पूर्ववत् हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी थैंक यू प्रभु जी
Yes, to be some problem. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Am I audible प्रभु जी
Yes, yes.
now I will repeat or okay प्रभु जी
No, you were heard, Mataji. Only Prabhuji's network is.
thank you
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare, hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Sukanya Mataji, would you like to
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes,
go ahead, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. इति तानपि राजेन्द्र प्रजा सर्गधियो मुनिः उपेत्य नारद प्राह वाचः कुटानि पूर्ववत्. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Thank you. Madhu Soni Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय इति तानपि राजेन्द्र प्रजा सर्गधियो मुनि उपेत्य नारदः प्राह वाचः कूटानि पूर्ववत्। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you. Uttama Padma Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय इति तानपि राजेन्द्र प्रजा सर्गाधियो मुनिः उपेत्या नारदः प्राह वाचः कूटानि पूर्ववत्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Revati Ratnagi
Marathi.
Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय इति दानविराजेन्द्र प्रजा सर्गधियो मुनिः उपेद्य नारदाः प्रह वासः कूटानि पूर्ववत्। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you. Swadayavati Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranams Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Iti Tanapi Rajendra Praja Sargo Diyo Mihi Upedna Narada Praha Vacha Kutani Purvavat. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Vijay Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय इति दानाभिराजेन्द्र प्रतिसर्गदियो मुनि उपेन्द्र नारद प्राह वासकूडानि पूर्ववत्। थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Thank you. Venkata Narsiha Das Prabhuji. Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Iti Tanapi Rajendra Praja Sargadhiyo Munihi Upecha Narada Pravacha Kotani Puravat. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Iti, thus, Tan, them, the sons of Prajapati, Daksha, known as Savalasvas. Api, also, Rajendra, O King Parikshit, Prajas are were under the impression that begetting children was the most important duty. Muni, the great sage, Upetya, approaching Narad, Praha, said, Vachaha, words, Kutani, enigmatic. These sons of Prajapati who were engaged in tapasya to beget children and spoke enigmatically to them, just as he had spoken to their brother. There is no purport here. Basically, what it says in translation is the Narad Muni is at it again. Harshya Swami were the 5,000 children of Daksha Prajapati who were instructed to beget children and fill up the spaces in the planetary system, wherein very innocent and very obedient and disciplined children, believing in the basic principles of religion and following them very strictly, Narada saw them and he thought, why unnecessarily entangle them in the material world and conditioned life? And so he instructed them to get liberated, which was probably very easy for Harshaswas, and all 5,000 children got completely liberated. Instead of praying for begetting children, they prayed for the liberation, which was a process of lamentation for Daksha, as his instructions were not followed. Daksha then produced another 1,000 children, and they were instructed the same way. Narada Muni intervenes in more or less the same fashion. Let's see what the next verse says. Who wants to recite this verse? Please raise your hand. Hey Krishna. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Now
now we can hear
yes.
you.
Yeah,
Yes,
now
yes,
we can
Prabhuji, I
hear
think there
you.
is some loose connection.
Yeah.
Is there some loose connection? Sometimes it gets broken.
I think there is an unstable internet in my area at the moment going
Okay.
on. So probably it must be the reason. Did you hear my analysis of the translation?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
I did.
yes, yes. Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Akshayana shrunut gadato nigamam mama anvichatanupadvim bhratura bhatruvasala. Venkata Narsiha Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dakshayana samskrunata gadato nigamam mama anvichitanu padavim bhatrunam bhatruvatsalaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Usha Dayavati Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranams Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dakshayana Samsrunuta Gatato Nigamam Mama Anupadavim sorry Prabhuji. Anivichata Anupadavim Prarthanam Prarthavatsalah. Thank you Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Pranandani Madhavi Devi Dasi ji.
Hare
Please
Krishna
go ahead.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dakshayanaha Srunuta Gadato Nigamam Mama Anichata Anupadabim Pratrunam Bhatruvatchalaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Revati Ratnagi Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dakshanaya Samasruta Kadoda Nigamama Anvicha Danu Badavim Pratrunam Pratruvatsalaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Uttama Padma Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dakshayanaha Samshunata Dadato Nigamam Mama Anvichatanupadavim Bhratrunam Bhratruvatsalaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Madhusoni Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dakshayanaha Sanshunut Gadato Nigamam Mama Anivikshitanu Padvim Bhatranam Bhatravatsala. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Uttama Padma Mataji, you did it, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Synonyms. Dakshayanaha, O sons of Prajapati Daksha, Sarvas Rutuna, please hear with attention. Gadaraha, who am speaking. Nigamam, instruction. Mama, my. Anvichata, follow. Anupadavin, the path. Bhartra, of your brothers. Bhartravasalaha, Bhartravasalaha. Oh, you who are very much affectionate to your brothers. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O sons of Daksha, please hear my words of instruction attentively. You are all very affectionate to your elder brothers, the Harsyasvas. Therefore, you should follow their path. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narada Muni encouraged Pradapati Daksha's second group of sons by awakening their natural affinity for their brothers. He urged them to follow their older brothers if they were at all affectionate towards them. Family affection is very strong, and therefore Narada Muni followed this tactic of reminding them of their family relationship with the Haryasvas. Generally, the word Nigama refers to Vedas, but here Nigam refers to the instruction contained in the Vedas. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Nigamakal Pataror Galitam Phalam. The Vedic instructions are like a tree of which Srimad Bhagavatam is a ripened fruit. Narada Muni is engaged in distributing this fruit, and therefore he instructed Vyasadeva to write these Mahapurana Srimad Bhagavatam for the benefit of ignorant human society. Anarthopasanam Shakshat Bhakti Yoga Adokshaje Loka Swajan Se Vidvams Chakre Satvat Sahitam. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the thinking process of devotional service. But the mass of the people do not know these, and therefore the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature, which is in relation to the Supreme Truth. 1.7.6 People are suffering because of ignorance and are following a wrong path for happiness. This is called anartha. These material activities will never make them happy, and therefore the Narada Muni instructed Vyasadeva to record the instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva actually followed Narada and did this. Srimad Bhagavatam is the supreme instruction of the Vedas. Galitam Phalam, the ripened fruit of the Vedas is Srimad Bhagavatam. Two or three things are happening simultaneously here. Number one, Narada Muni is instructing sons of Daksha, which is the second batch of children. And Narada Muni is also pampering them or to convince them to follow the instruction. And the third thing Srila Prabhupada is including is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam as a ripened fruit of Vedas and its role in directly connecting and linking with the Lord Himself. Obviously, that leads to the path of liberation, path of devotion, and getting out of the cycle of birth and death. Let us take each one by one. The instructions that Narada Muni gives are more or less same. And we learn these from verse number 6 to 22. These are the verses where allegory was described by Narada Muni. And these are one of the famous allegories beyond that of Pracheta and in the fifth canto. Verse number 6 to 9 described in detail about the questions that Narada Muni asked. Verse 10 to 20, each question, the 11 questions, are understood and answered by Harshyaswas and their conclusion in each verse. Ultimately, it was beyond conviction and understanding culminating into that rather than begetting children, becoming a conditioned soul and entangling in material life, it is far superior and better to get liberated from this mohamaya and do devotional service permanently to the Lord by staying by his side in Vaikuntha Loka. Narada Muni could convince them, Harshyaswas, so well that all 5,000 of them, whom as I described earlier were very obedient and disciplined children, there was hardly any material tinge, if at all, on their self and on their soul, and thus purifying them was very easy. They were performing penances and austerity, and so they could get out of the material tinge and anarthas very quickly, purified themselves, and went back to Godhead in Vaikuntha Loka. Now, after 22 verses, verse number 23 to 25 keeps describing about Daksha's lamentation. He started with a project, being Prajapati, is supposed to fill up the planets with the Praja or the people. And here it appears that he is miserably failing. All his children, 5,000 of them, he considered them agents to create the progeny, and they all failed and all of them went away. It's like you take a big project in your hand and suddenly your team disappears or gets distorted or disintegrates. And you see the whole project getting stirred up. However, at the end of lamentation, he realized that probably Narada Muni helped 5,000 souls. And so he did create another batch of children, less this time, about 1,000 of them. And they were also of the same mentality, very pious people, and disciplined and not grossly connected with the material life at all. Here they are praying and doing austerity to beget the children as per the instruction of their father. However, the Narada Muni comes in, intervenes, and instructs them about the soul and gives them the transcendental knowledge. Once someone gets the transcendental knowledge, it's very difficult to then come back to the material life because you know the hard facts. It's the ignorance or avidya that keeps us in this material world. Before we came into the Krishna consciousness, we all were wandering around and probably trying to find happiness at places where there was none. But then each time that you experience, you aim at something and you never get that thing from that area. You keep cancelling those areas and not the areas worth going again. If you chart the whole world, the material manifestation in this way, you need millions of life to dechart the whole world. However, we were lucky that we came into Krishna consciousness, who gave us what is soul, what is soul's constitutional position, what is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, what is our constitutional relationship. This is all Guhya Gyan, or very confidential knowledge that we got. And once we have some knowledge about it, some understanding about it, at least it's very easy for us to realize that there is no sense in trying to find happiness in this material world. This material world is not eternal. It keeps interrupting itself with each death. It continuously keeps changing itself while in the life, and it has ups and downs. It's not steady. In other words, it has all the features to keep you upright on your toes and hanging by a sword. It doesn't give you the bliss, pleasure, or happiness, whatever you call it, in whatever form, because it doesn't have one. If at all you get a glimpse of it, it's very momentary. And after that glimpse, you slip back into the same miseries and sorrows. So we are all lucky to have come to Krishna conscious movement. And the rest is the history you, me, and all of us know very well. Probably all of us are passing through almost a similar kind of experience, though our paths are all different. We still walk on a common path and getting the common understanding and pleasure of the Lord. The best way to explain to anyone and convince anyone is always the relatives or friends or family in the material world. I'll tell you only my example that if we have a family person, any person treated in the family, operated or otherwise, if there is something wrong in orthopedics there again in that family, they immediately rush to you. And whatever you say, they get it done over with. And so in our material world of biosurgical practice, we used to say that our practice has 70 to 80% of the repeat orders. When they come from the same family again with some other person having the issues, we call them repeat orders. When we do some surgeries which are not routinely done, like replacements, etc., then when another person comes who needs the same kind of a surgery, we always give them a telephone number of the one who has undergone that and who is happy with the results. This convinces patient much more proficiently than explaining to him the art and science of the entire operation and its results and research done by so many scholars. It is always more convincing when the patient who has undergone this surgery, once he says it's very good, it is taken as a gospel word. If you keep explaining as a doctor, everything is taken with a pinch of salt. So Narada Muni, being a very smart guy, explains to them that, look, I explained this science and instructed your elder brothers. They all got convinced and they all are now liberated and they are in Vaikuntha doing devotion to the Lord. And then he uses the last and very prominent card of the play that if you love your brothers, then you must follow whatever they need. And obviously, younger brothers would be loving their elder brothers anyway. So Narada Muni then tries and convinces them because your brothers got this and got happy with it, they never came back into the material life, and they are very happily, blissfully serving the Lord. And so the children, now the next batch of 1,000 of them, verses number 31, 32, 33, we'll see how they also follow the path of Haridas. In short, we're going to see the repeat performance of Narada Muni again and a repeat success of Narada Muni. But behind the success of Narada Muni lies the failure of Daksha Prajapati. And this failure of Daksha Prajapati is going to be a repeat one, and we'll see what havoc it creates in him. It's one of the best chapter, and probably it will be coming to your reference everywhere in rest of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So you better read through, and I would suggest you go through the Bhagavad Subodhini, where it gives everything in nutshell in the form of a chart. It's very nicely described, the allegory. A similar allegory we learned in Canto 5 as well. There is one more in Canto 4. It's a very wonderful way of instructing someone with this kind of method of teaching rather than telling directly. Let him hear and accept everything and then realize that, oh, this is me. And these are the people that you are talking are my wife, my children, my parents, etc. Then he understands it very easily. What's been otherwise a confidential knowledge, difficult to understand. The Srimad Bhagavatam being written by Vyasadeva because he was not happy after writing all the scriptures that he has written in the form of Bhagavad Purana, etc. Narada Muni told him that you have written so many texts, but they all do not have the detail of pastimes of the Lord, detail of the devotional service, which is the only path, what we call Bhakti Yoga or Bhakti Marg. And unless you describe in detail these two things, wherein the Lord is exchanging the rasas and the love and the bhava, you will not be able to be happy. And thus comes Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature state of Vyasadeva, he writes it so well, describing mainly Krishna Katha and describing devotion and devotional services or Bhakti Marg in detail whenever the chance is so nicely written that it is considered to be a ripened fruit, kalpataru or the desired tree that is ready to be eaten, tasted, and it has a nectar that will give the blissful pleasure out of this world. Especially when it is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. It is said that when the parrot has the beak penetrating the layer of the fruit, scientifically, the pectin layer of the fruit gets disturbed and gets converted into sugar, and thus fruit automatically becomes very sweet. Such sweetness is in Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. This is in short, these two verses. It's a wonderful chapter, as I said earlier. I'm repeating it, but go through it again. Make your own notes and the chart to remember it easily. Any question, any doubts, any addition, any queries, anything that is not understood, please go ahead.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. Very elaborate, like a fruit given to the mouth. The way you said everything. There is no scope of any questions here.
Prabhuji, thank you very much. You have so much love and affection towards me.
Wonderful.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
All glories.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Bharat.
Wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. One thing I don't understand, Prabhuji. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna told that better than going for sannyasa, you should work for me, you should render service, loving service to me without any attachment. Then why Narada Muni is asking them to, instructing them to go for sannyasa without any worldly entanglement? Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Mataji, can you come again? You said, can you come again, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna told that better than going for sannyasa, you should render loving devotional service to me without any attachment. Then
Yes.
why it comes like that? Narada Muni is instructing them to go for sannyasa, Prabhuji, without any worldly attachment.
Where does Narad Muni says that you go for sannyasa? He is only talking about austerity. He is only talking about detachment from the material world and attachment into the spiritual world. He is not talking that you take sannyasa and remain in the world.
Okay. Okay.
Am I making some sense, Mataji?
Okay, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Also, I have this similar question. Like Daksh Prajapati was instructed by Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma has got everything, his mind from Supreme Lord. So he was instructed to create progeny who can rule the world, right? So I think Prajapati was also, matlab, this is what I am thinking. Miss Prajapati was also doing the job which he was instructed for, right?
Yes.
He was also on the right path as per the instructions from the Lord, and Narad Muni is always right. So I think this is what is going on in my mind. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Shakti Mataji. If we look at it really, Daksha, you mean to say that Daksha was doing his job. He was instructed to create the progeny, and that's why he was created as Prajapati. His job was to create the progeny and fill up the planetary systems. Whereas Narada Muni, he is the eternal devotee of the Lord, and his job is to bring as many devotees to the Lord or relieve the conditioned souls and bring them back to the Godhead. But remember one thing, that the material manifestation was created as a rehabilitation center. Rehabilitation center admits those who are badly affected. We never take any normal person to a rehabilitation center because that center is meant for diseased or bad people to convert them again into a normal, de-addicted or something. This material manifestation in the planetary system is nothing but a rehabilitation center. So though Daksha was right, his duty was to create the progeny. But then he had brought in children, 5,000 plus 1,000, who were not materially oriented at all, who were very nice, pious people, who were hardly having any material things, very disciplined, very pious, and they were ready to get liberated themselves. So Narada Muni thought that they are not fit to come and stay here and become a conditioned soul because they can easily be liberated. And then his duty is to bring devotees back to the Lord those who are otherwise almost out of the cycle of birth and death. So here there are two contrary people, one one who is tapping them into the material world to rehabilitate them, and their ultimate goal is back to the. Whereas the second person who always finds out those devotees who are almost ready to get liberated and go back to Godhead. And so Narada Muni thinks that it is his priority and he should work on them rather than Daksha, what he gives in instruction of begetting children and again entangling them in the material world. And so Narada Muni instructs them and sends them back to the Godhead. Does that make some sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, it is actually what actually we think. But what I feel like is this particular creation is for bringing more and more souls, right? This is what Lord Krishna has done. He wants this progeny, and and it is also good that Narad Muni is instructing them. I think this is how Lord Krishna wants to show to us that if you get the instructions from a bona fide master, you can still remember me. You can get back to me. I think this can be one of the reasons. Otherwise, he himself, God himself, wants to create this universe, and somebody is coming and instructing the sons who are actually responsible for creating further progenies in this world, even though it is rehabilitation center, as we discussed. So I think this can be one of the examples through which Supreme Lord wants to show us that whatever happens in this world, if you are listening about me from a bona fide master, you can still get back to me. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, that could be the inference that you can derive, but in simpler language, this is how we understand that certainly the world must be inhabited by the progeny, but only progeny of those souls which needs to get rehabilitated to go back to Godhead. If the soul is already ready to go back to Godhead, let that soul go to Godhead quickly rather than staying here on earth. Thank you very much, Mataji, for your revelation as well. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Any other question? If there are no questions, thank you very much, Subharao Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya vasindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare Koti Vaishnav ki jai. Thank you very much for attending the class. All of you have a nice Krishna conscious day. Till we see you again. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.